Okay, Likutei Moharan. Torah Chaf. We're holding Mesif Gimel. התעז ויש חילוק בין ביור שאדם עבר בינו לבין עצמו. We're talking about how a person needs to pour his heart before the supernal heart. To take words that are hot as coals, as burning coals. And then with that, draw Dibur Torah. Now that neshama that goes through those sufferings, that is the portal of Dibur Torah was mistalik. So now a person has to beg the love. יש חילוק בין ביור שאדם עובר בינו לבין עצמו. Now, the explanations of the Torah, there's a difference between the explanations that a person explains between him and himself. You're learning something and you're explaining things to yourself. What's בין ביור שאדם עובר לרבים, between the explanation that the person explains to many people. When a person darshan to a lot of people, before he explains it to them, before he expounds it, he connects himself with their neshamas, and he pours his conversation and his tefillah before Hashem. Then what happens is hen kabir v'lo imas. You know, and Keren HaKadosh Baruch Hu is kabir means tefillah of rabbim. Lo imas. HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not, push away tefillah of the many. But tefillah siyochid, but tefillah of a single person. Maybe the pushing away is they're rejecting his tefillah, and therefore he doesn't merit to pull down the Torah properly. When he ordered him to bring Biur Torah, and he would speak to the cellar, in other words, to the lever alien, le'enayim, in other words, in their presence. What's alluded to in this shit, your tefillah should be at the time when the tzibur are together. Now, gather all Am Yisrael in the time when you're bringing down the Chidush Torah, the Biur Torah. So you can connect yourself with their neshamas, and then you pour your heart before Kodesh Baruch Hu. And with this, and this is how afterwards you will bring down the explanations of the Torah from the supernal heart. Then you'll learn to darshan into the many. And not only this, but you'll be able to be the conduit of Torah understandings to the other Torah commentaries, to the other commentators. This is what he says, Hakel Sa'am, gather the people. First of all, gather the people at the time when you are bringing down new Torah commentaries. And it says, Simdal, Zeh Chiluk, and that's the difference between somebody who learns from a sefer and somebody who learns from the Chocham himself. Anybody who hears from the Chocham himself, as bevadai his neshama gets bound to the neshama of the Chocham when the Chocham is davening before he says his Torah. So anybody who's able to be there is neshama binds neshama of the Chocham. And mimele v'yesh lezeh ha'odom, and that particular person who hears the Divrei Torah chelek b'bi'azeh, There's a part in this beer that the Chacham brings down afterwards. Why? It is through the tefillah of that sage that he davens. This adds kedusha, sanctity and holiness above. We call tefillah yotzes ma'arbe neshamas, and any tefillah that comes out of a lot of different neshamas, it adds holiness above, and it awakens and excites the leva elyon much, much more. And that brings about the supernal heart to pour the beer in much greater quantity. Everything according to how many people were there. That are, when the Chacham is there, when he doesn't. This adds kaviyachol to the Kodesh Baruch Hu above. Mivchinas, says Kodesh Baruch Hu is sitting to hear the praise, the glorification that Am Yisrael says on Shabbos. What it actually means is that the Tilas Yisrael, through the Tefillah, which is Tilas Yisrael, that the Chacham davens when he is being bound together with Yisrael. This brings about a greater Kedusha HaKadosh Baruch Hu above. What happens is, I don't know if you noticed, but the whole unit of Kedusha, of Tefillah, unit of talking, is that the talking itself, which is the Malchus, it creates a keli for the light to come from above. When a person asks for something, so the words are creating a keli for Kodesh Baruch Hu to give him whatever it is he's asking for. Now, the thing is, because the Kodesh Baruch Hu himself, Kaviyachol, and the bounty of the Kodesh Baruch Hu himself, the plenty of the Kodesh Baruch Hu himself, is without end. You need to have cups, you need to have vessels with which to contain it. And the Diburim, the Tefillah, is the Kelim. That's the Kelim. Now, it's not only in this world that the Divrei Torah, that the Tefillah needs to bring down the Kedusha. Also, the Olam Yisrael, there's a need to bring down from HaKadosh Baruch Hu greater Kedusha. The Olam Yisrael, they get the sustenance from HaKadosh Baruch Hu for what they need to exist. They don't need us. But when we add on Kedusha, they get more Kedusha. The Olam Yisrael get more Kedusha, therefore it gives down more Kedusha. Any tefillah that comes out of love neshamas, it brings more kedusha above, and it awakens. And as we said before, the gam is another plus to all the people, to anybody who's standing before the Chacham himself. All these people who are standing with the Chacham at the time, when the Chacham dashens, nichno ish osam al yatov shebachacham adoyesh. Their own wickedness surrenders before the goodness in the Chacham HaDeresh. I don't know if you ever noticed when you have the people coming together. So this one is a little this one is a little that, this one is a little stingy, this is a little self-centered, this one is a little angry, whatever it is. Suddenly a gadol comes, everybody becomes like Lemelach. Everybody's just like, everybody's good, everybody's kind. What happened? I don't know, Rav Steinman comes, everybody's kind, everybody's like, there's no argument, there's no It's because every person has innate wickedness, you know. But when you're mikosher with the chacham, that wickedness is subdued. It's being surrendered. Kol ela anoshim omedim shasat drush, their riches is being surrendered by the goodness which is in the chacham ushtashitz. And then once their wickedness is subdued, then the chacham can connect with the neshamas. And then the tefillah that he davens is called tefillas rabbin. Even though he's the only one who davens it, meaning he's connected with everyone, it's tefillas rabbin. V'lefiach no, and in commensurately with the defeat. That the wickedness of the people around them are defeated, commensurately the enemies is also defeated. What are the enemies? These are the husks, you know, that surround the supernal heart. B'fchinas zos Yerushalayim Santer b'toch ga'agoyim. This Jerusalem, Zois always talks about Malchus. Zois is always the Malchus. It's always the Dibur. But Zois asher Dibur lehem. Zois is the Malchus. Me is the Bina. So it says Zois Yerushalayim. You know, we're talking about Spheres of Malchus. It's the Dibur, the Seleva Elia. Santer b'toch ga'agoyim. I put her surrounded with Goyim. This pasuk alludes to the supernal heart. This Yerushalayim, he lived. This supernal heart is the heart. B'fchinas dabru alev Yerushalayim. Speak on the heart of Yerushalayim. Convince Yerushalayim. And speak to the heart of Yerushalayim. So you see that the Lev Elyon is an aspect of Yerushalayim. That it means that the original supernal roots of the city of Yerushalayim is in Spheres Malchus, which is the Leva Eliyah. And this pasuk, this Yerushalayim, Santer b'toch hagoyim, this Jerusalem, I put him amongst the goyim. It means that the Leva Elyon resides, is surrounded with the klippas. And commensurately with the defeat that the Chacham manages to put down the people that are standing there, commensurately the klippas that are around Yerushalayim Shel Ma'alo, you know, is also defeated. V'zeh amata. This is the staff. The Kodesh Baruch Hu said to Moshe, "Kach es amata v'akel es ha'edo." Take the staff and bring together the congregation. Mate, the staff, that's the authority and the force of the tzaddik. Shenasa the avodah, the avodah of the tzaddik gives him strength. It gives him a weapon. It gives him, you know, enforcing that defeats all the enemies. Side the people who are standing down with the Chacham, the klippas that are around the Leva Elyon. They're all defeated through this. And this is where it says, Mateus Chayishlach Hashem Tzir, a staff of strength, your staff of strength Hashem will send from Tzir. Hainu mitzvahs and masim tovim. These are the mitzvahs and the masim tovim that the sage did. Shem tziyunim, they are marks, inyonim, they are symbols, L'dvarim elyonim, because every mitzvah that you do in this world does incredible ramifications, has incredible ramifications and influence in Olam Esrogim. This is the thing that forms the staff of strength to bring down the enemy. This is what it says in the end of this pasuk: rule amongst the enemies. He who is by the Chocham at the time of the beer, at the time of the explanation, it is found that his own inner wickedness is subdued. It says, and that which the Chacham needs to spill his heart in his tefillah in order to, before he brings the Torah commentaries, Shivchi chamayim libech nechat pnei Hashem, pour your heart like water before the face of Hashem. Pnei Hashem, the face of Hashem, is the bi'ur of Drusha Torah. This is the commentaries and the illuminations of the Torah. It is said, "V'hadarta pnei zaken," and you should glorify the face of zaken. Because zaken, what is zaken is hadas ponim. Hadarta is, you would glorify, is the glorify of the face. This is 13 rectifications of the beard, which is the 13 spiritual structures in the persona, spiritual persona called Arich Anpin. It's the Kesem. When it filters down, when it trickles down to Torah Shebal Peh, these are the 13 different ways to touch them, because Torah Shebal Peh is like raw. And you have to take the Divrei Torah and you have to learn the halachas from it. So you have 13 different principles that require how the halacha comes out from a Pesukei Torah. Sometimes it says that sometimes something that you learn from the matter that the Torah is speaking about, and sometimes it's what the pasuk ends with. And other times you have, like the last one is there are two psukim that contradict one another. There comes a third one and settles the 13 principles. Those 13 principles are the manifestation of these very, very high rectifications of the Zakar, which is Shloshes Midas that we say, that we say. These are all aspects of these 13 rectifications of the beard. Hadras Ponim, Hadras, this Hadarta Pnei Zaken. This is the 13 Tikkunim, the 13 Midas that the Torah is. And from these 13 Bechinas in the Arich, this is the source where the commentaries of the Torah goes down to the Shechina, which is the Malchus, the Leva Eli. It says, Shivchet Kamayim Libech Nechet Pnei Hashem. Nechet means before. This is Shivchet Kamayim Libech, that Shetzorech Lishpach Sichoi Vetfilosoi Kodesh Masha B'Yireh Torah Kanal. You have to pour your tefillah and your speech before you bring down the Torah commentaries from their source of Pnei Hashem, the face of Hashem, which is the 13 tikkunim of the beard. That's come for today.